Okay. All right, we are now joined by head coach Mark Skinner. Mark, if you could just start us off with your thoughts on the game.
Well, you probably all seen it. It wasn't good enough from us. So I think that all the things that we looked at doing in pre-season, we didn't affect first half. We just didn't do them. So we had some words at half-time. We were better second half. Still not good enough. That's nothing against the players. That's nothing personal. That's nothing me telling that the players aren't good enough. That's me saying as a team, as a collective, we were not good enough in that game. Hence the reason we lost. That's just as simple as that. As it is that. I've been handed a bunch of statements on stats, but you can feel the game as well. And we just were not good enough first half and allowed the game to get away from us. And then you're chasing second half and you've got to be more ruthless. So that's my statement for the game to start off with.
Well, the questions go to Mike and then Scott.
Mark, going into this game, you said that you were expecting a challenge, especially from one of the best two teams in the league. Is that exactly what you felt that was a challenge from the very minute of the game?
Yeah, I think. But the worrying thing. The thing that I'm disappointed with most was, what did they really have to do first half? We allowed them to do it, and there's a difference. We're going to turn this place into a fortress in the future. But I'm learning fast on what our players do and don't know already. And that, for me, it's nothing about the players. Again, it's not personal. It's about understanding, educating. I don't think that Portland had to really earn it. They didn't do anything to earn their victory. I think we gave them the victory today, and that's the disappointing part that I'll fix very quickly.
Go to Scott.
Coach, what do you think of just the atmosphere, the fan support in your first game here?
Wonderful. And I think as a collective, I don't think we gave them enough to get behind till second half. We were better second half, we were. But it took some words at half-time in order to do that. I don't want to shout at people. I don't want to shout at what we're trying to do. And if we're going to try to get a performance in front of those wonderful fans, that was energy. And that's what our players need to give. If you don't keep the ball first half, you then tire towards the end of the game. We didn't do well enough on the first half. And that's a first half that we need to wipe from our memory, learn from, and produce and make sure we're better at.
Go to Luke.
Coach, you said earlier in the preseason you've seen this team have their flip switched a little bit. Now that you have a regular season game under your belt, how close is this team to getting back to that level that they were at for most of the season last year?
Of course, I think I look at what they so although the stats will say shots on target, this and that, as a coach you kind of focus on the things you can and can't control. If they've got good players, they're going to find spaces. What we need to do is to learn quickly about which spaces to give, which spaces not to give. I don't think we did that first, but it's things that are pretty simple to fix, but you need to concentrate. The heat is absorbing, and that affects your decision making. Now I know that. I've played in it, I've experienced it. Now all of a sudden we can adapt, and adaptability is the biggest skill set I said when I first came in, and we didn't adapt quickly enough today, and we're out of the game. We're out of the game, and then if we take our chances second half, you're still in the game, you're back in the game, and we've got to be ruthless. You've got to be ruthless at both ends. And then the middle can be pretty, but then when they have the ball, you've got to win it back. We were far too passive along the lines. I'm going to make sure that changes.
Luis, and then Scott.
Can you talk a little bit about the availability of the Australians?
So a day or two ago, they went down with a virus. So both of them, it hit. We were waiting as long as we could to see if we could include them. Hit Alana first, then hit Emily the day after. So they're both out with a virus. It was too soon today. Hopefully we'll have them on the trip for the next two games. So it's just really unfortunate timing. They would have been obviously part of what we're doing. So that was just a little bit of a kick in the teeth before we started. But welcome to NWSL.
Gonna go to Scott and then Mike.
Mark, on the attacking end, it looked like there was a lot of chances for you guys. I know Morgan hit the post, I think, twice. But a lot of times that final ball just wouldn't come in. What needs to change in order to get that final ball in?
Sorry to cut you off because I'm that passionate about it. I just think that the better connections, the better understanding. If you're running that way, I need to give it to you at the front foot so that you can play and finish. It's the details. And again, no disrespect to these details. Were not coached into these players. They've got the best players in the world, and yet the details need to be infinite under fatigue, and that's what was missing. So yes, we hit it because we have good players. So we were hitting posts because we have good players. What we need is a whole team that can provide for each other. That was the intent was there. The players, I'm not going to talk about their intent or something because that was there. The connections of time together to understand where the ball is, the infinite details that the best players have, we've got to give to the whole team. Because once you do that, you create and score as many chances as we can. And that will happen, trust me. We've been working at it hard, but it takes a little bit more time than maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
Go to Mike and then finish with Anna.
Coach, you said the second half was a completely different picture. Obviously, the first half, Portland was just all over the team.
Yeah.
What did you kind of tell the team at halftime to kind of change the dynamic of the game? And obviously, also, what did you feel about those 2 goals that were pretty much gifted on turnovers as well that kind of gave Portland the victory as well?
Well, that's the problem. So if you're going to play the style that we want in the future, you've got to be precise in your passing. But you've got to be able to keep possession first and foremost. They were jumping into central traps. So we were playing into central traps. So we weren't looking at where the detail needed to be. If I play it to you and that player jumps, give it back. You've now used the spacing behind her. We did not do that because the pass to her took her a touch to take control. Then she had to play it back. 2 touch, by the time they've got it, Haran physically will get all over you. So we need to be quicker. Our details, our passing details, we do pass, move, action, move. They were not there first half. You have to be brave to be a footballer playing for me in the way that we want to play. We were not brave enough first half. Don't take that the team are not brave. They were not brave enough first half. And that's what needs to change. So what we did second half was we adapted to the spaces that we knew they would leave, and we were picking up better balls because they were playing a little bit over that trap. That's what we need to do from the first half. And that's the things my team will start to learn.
Finish with Anna.
Coach, can you compare and contrast Portland's spatial awareness versus Orlando's?
Yeah, I think, look, if I'm being really honest, they have top players. We have top players, but all I'd say is that, look, Portland are a lot more direct than I've seen and so on. It's quite a direct league. So they play and they pick up second pieces, and you can hear the coaching staff on the side saying picking up second pieces. And so it's more of a make the opposition make mistakes. And it worked for them today. So that's a tactic they used. What we need to do is once we are into the groove quickly enough, they won't be able to get to those spaces quickly enough. We've got to be quicker on our detail because detail beats any physicality. The simplest rule in the game, the ball moves quicker than any individual on that field. And if you can move the detail of the ball with correct body position and so on, which my players have just not been coached. They just they haven't had enough time to go, and you can ask Ash, our coach detail on how to move and play. And they did not do that first half. And they did not deserve the victory. They didn't deserve any result today, our team. I'm the first one to hold my hands up. If we were unfortunate, we did not deserve it because of our first half. That's nothing against the players, and please write that. The players are brilliant. They're adapting, and they're adapting quickly. But first half let us down. And that spatial awareness, I just think, yeah, they've got good players. But we allowed that space. If you're going to allow good player space and time, they're going to hurt you. And they did first half.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you.
Take your mic on. Is this on? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Now joined by captain and goalkeeper Ashlyn Harris.
Hello. And we are back.
Ash, can you just get us started with your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, a disappointing result. A really rough start to the season. The first 45 minutes was not good enough and very disappointing. And yeah, I mean, we came back out and parts of the game we had chances to finish and unfortunately didn't put the ball in the back of the net because I think if we squeeze one out, the game changes a bit. I'm proud of the team and the response they had in the second half, because at halftime we got our asses chewed out, and it just has to be better. And we have all the tools, you guys. We have all the tools. We have an incredible coach that is putting everything on the line, giving us all the tools we've been begging for. It's now about executing. We weren't brave enough today. And in soccer, you have to be brave on the ball, or these things happen. And we will unpack this. We will be better. And we have 2 days to turn around and play again in North Carolina. So it's about how we respond at this point.
Okay, we'll go to Mike.
Ashlyn, obviously, you heard a little bit of what Mark had to say, pinned a little bit of the first half performance that kind of dictated the entire match. How frustrating was it going into halftime, knowing that obviously Portland was all over Orlando and they were able to squeeze a goal before halftime and kind of change the dynamic of the game?
Yeah, of course it's frustrating. It could have been 5 or 6-0 in the first half. We were lucky to go into the locker room with only 1 goal, which I believe came in the 45th minute, which should never happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but yeah, what can I say? Am I pissed? Yeah, of course I'm pissed, but I have to be the best version of myself every day for this team. I believe in myself that I am the best fucking player out there every single day, and I can't give that to other people. That is something that they have to wake up and feel every fucking day. I can't give that. I'll run through a brick wall for this team, and every single one of you out there know that. But I can't give that to everyone else. That's a choice. I hope that we choose to continue to grow and dig deep, because football is about, tactics and this plan and, these strategies. But when it's out there, it's about who's willing to do the little things right, the small details. The plans don't, work out the way we envision in training. It's here. It's how hard you're willing to work here. And I feel like we lack that a little bit. And I know our coach is disappointed because he's picked up, he's left his family, he's left his little kid, he's left his partner, and it was shit. And that's not how we repay, him for all the stuff he's putting in hour after hour work. He's working incredibly hard, and he's giving us all the tools. So there's no excuse. Football is not about excuses. I have no excuses to stand up here and tell you guys. It just wasn't good enough.
Okay, Scott. Go Scott first in the back second.
Is this type of performance where you guys want to forget, or is there something that you're going to purposely try to do to make it better for?
Yeah, you can't forget it. You can't forget it. That means you're not growing. We're not here to be perfect. No one's claiming to be perfect. Football, there's no such thing as perfect in football. There's going to be ebbs and flows in the game, and it's just managing, the times when your back's against the wall, and we will unpack this, and we will individually be sent our clips and individually, be held accountable and collectively be held accountable so we can move forward and be better. Absolutely. We have a standard. Football is about taking accountability and putting your hand up. We absolutely win as a team and we lose as a team, but we have to unpack this game and figure out what we're going to do to be better moving forward.
Okay, second row. And then we'll go to Luis.
Ashlyn, you mentioned that you only have a couple days to turn this around before playing the reigning champions.
Mm-hmm.
Is a couple days enough time to make significant gains off of what happened today?
I do. I think that we can only go up from here at this point. I think that when a few of our players get healthy, I think there was a few missing pieces, and credit to people stepping up last minute. But yeah, there will definitely, it has to get better. It will get better. Whether it's 2 days, whether it's 24 hours, we need to self-reflect and we need to be better. And my hope is that we come out and I mean, what a better way to just bounce back. I hate waiting. You know, when I feel the way I feel right now, to wait another week to play a game is really difficult. So to be able to let that out in 2 days, I mean, that's good for us.
Finish up with Luis.
What positives can you take from this?
Positives. Interesting question. That no matter how shitty things get, that we stayed collectively together. I didn't necessarily see anyone yelling at each other. I still felt like this team believed. We are on a mission right now, and we have to stick to that mission. And I think that's a positive, because it is difficult, you know, to get off on a start like this. But if we stay together and we stay committed to the mission and the vision of our coach, we will be okay. He will carry us. I really, really believe that. I think he's incredible. He makes all the right decisions. He treats everyone exactly the same. Everyone is equally as important, and he carries a lot of, you know, the weight on his shoulders, which is a good feeling, because he wants us to succeed, and he's willing to do whatever it takes, and we're getting all the tools to do that. So yeah, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. It's just the first game. Shit like this happens. We move forward. We had 2 players who were rookies, you know, stepped out on the field. That's great. Congratulations to Aaron and Bridget. I'm super proud of them. And yeah, we move forward now as a team, and we unpack this, and then we're hungry for, you know, North Carolina. I don't give a shit if they won last year. Last year's last year. We're coming for them.
Thank you, Ashlyn.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
We will wrap up with Carson Pickett. Tyler, shut the door. Okay. All right. Carson, could you just kind of start with your general thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think obviously Portland opening up on opening day weekend, I think that's a tough draw. But I think that going forward, if we can play one of the best teams to begin with, we know where the areas we need to work on. And we didn't deserve that game. There's a lot of things that we can do better, but it's all about moving forward now. We have 3 days to get ready and have another go at another team.
We'll go to Mike and then Scott.
Carson, Mark said just shortly after the game that the team wasn't good enough at all. So pinned a little bit of the first half, the performance, and then the second half kind of changed things. From your point of view, how did the team kind of handle halftime, going into halftime, and then kind of trying to rally and try to go for the victory?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all professionals. So coming in, we knew that we didn't have a great half, and we knew what we need to work on, and we just needed him to come in and do exactly what he did, just let us know tactically, emotionally, and get us going again. I think that we stepped it up in the second half, but we don't have a half to lose next time. It's easy to get down in this league, so I think that to be on top, you have to do everything right all the time. You can't take a half off.
Go to Mike and then, or Scott and then to Luke.
Defensively, you guys gave up 22 shots on Wednesday playing North Carolina, another really powerful attack. Just what do you guys have to do differently defensively to limit those opportunities?
Yeah, I think that obviously soccer is not offense and defense. I think as a team, we just need to do better at defending all around. So, you know, not giving their backs enough time to find the forwards to get a shot off. And we just need to be tighter on their forwards. Obviously, they have really fast, powerful forwards. And if you give them time, they'll take their chances. So I think just not letting them turn and make sure we get them playing backwards as much as possible.
Luke and then to Luis.
You guys talked at the tail end of last year how this roster was disjointed and didn't have the confidence that they had in the middle of the season. How close are you guys now to getting to a level of confidence that you guys had in the middle of the season last year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, not everything's going to go perfect with any team in the beginning. We're still trying to work things out and work off each other. And I think that it's way quicker than last year was, to be honest. I think we're already on a great road ahead. I just think that there's little things that we have to get better at. And once we get those, I think this team will be super powerful.
Elise?
The times that you shift in the midfield, can you talk a little bit about what your role is supposed to be and what you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a possession-style player, so when I go in there, I just like to keep it simple and connect passes and just be a link between pretty much the defensive line and the attacking line. So when I get in there, obviously you have to ball in and you have to be aggressive, but I think that just bringing that confidence to relax and not just kicking balls and stuff, it got super back and forth for a while, and I think, when different players go in there, like Camilla is good at possession and keeping the ball, and I think just different styles get in there and can affect the game.
Okay, we'll go to Luke and then finish up with Mike.
You've had a couple preseason games in training to get used to Mark's style. What did you think of his game plan today and how he did in his first game as a head coach in the league here?
I mean, I thought he did great. He can do everything, but he can't go play on the field for us. So preparation was key, and it's exactly what we needed. And, we just have to go out there and earn the right.
Mike?
Carson, what was Mark's message at halftime? Obviously, he was a little riled up here, but what did he kind of tell you, the team, to kind of spur some type of spur a little bit more of a different approach to the second half?
I think that he looked at each line defensively in midfield and attacking and told us things we got to get better at. Just in general, I think that we were letting them play too much. We're good players on this team, and I think that we're all really good with the ball. And it seemed like we were just getting rid of it when we got it. So I think he was frustrated in the fact that we're just that good of players and we weren't wanting the ball the way that we have been in training in the preseason. So I think just the confidence to stay on the ball even though we're against a great team and just carrying out the game plan.
Thank you, Carson.
Thank you.